I'm going to show you today how to set up the Jason Learning platform so that you can have your account set up, your classes set up, and then load students into your classes. So first you're going to want to go to the Pasadena portal and go ahead and sign in. And Jason should be one of your tiles on the portal now. If you don't see it right away, depending on how you originally had your portal set up, you can search for it at the top. Mine was alphabetical, but it did not alphabetize it since it was added later. So you can search for Jason. Go ahead and open that. The very first time you log in, it's going to ask you to activate your subscription. So the district should already be filled in, but you will need to select your school. You need to put an estimate of the number of students that you teach in. I'm going to overestimate mine. It is better to overestimate slightly in case you get new students throughout the year. You can put the grade levels in that you teach, and then you can activate. Once you activate, you can just kind of check to make sure that your information looks correct. And you will have a student key here. It will show it later so that you'll be able to use that in other areas. So it's not necessary to write it down right now. Then it will tell you up here that your subscription activation is successful, and it gives you two different locations that you can continue to Jason Learning. So go ahead and click on that. So once you get to this page, you have a couple of different options. You're going to have some announcements down at the bottom. Those you're welcome to read at your leisure. You can explore resources, and that's going to be available for you to look at anytime you need to. You can manage your students, which you can do now, but it's probably going to be better for you to wait. I will explain a couple of different options that you have, and then you can also manage your classrooms. So the options that you have currently, you could choose to put all of your students into one classroom. For some teachers that are at lower grade levels that just have one classroom of students, obviously that's a great choice. At the higher grade levels where you have multiple classes, it's probably a better choice to add extra classrooms and separate your students into different classes so that you can keep track of those students a little bit easier. If you're going to add classrooms first, or if you're going to add multiple classrooms, rather, you want to add your classrooms first before you start managing students. And so if you're going to keep just one classroom, then you can skip this step and go directly to manage students. So just be aware, I'm going to spend just a couple of minutes on managing classrooms first. So if you're one of the lower grade levels, if you want to skip ahead a little bit, that's fine. So for the upper grade levels that would want to have more than one classroom, you want to go ahead and click on Manage Classrooms. And currently you have all of your students that you could have all in one classroom. But you're going to want to create a classroom up here in the top right. And you have to give each of your classrooms a name. It does require the name to be, I believe it was at least 8 characters long, and they do all have to be unique. So whatever you want to give those classroom names is up to you. I typically go with something like my class period, so first period and my name. And then you don't have to, I believe, but I will go ahead and put, like, say I had a pre-AP class that period. 1. And you'd probably want to have those active. I can't think of a scenario where you would have an inactive class period, but maybe if like rolling over from one year to the next. And you would create that class. You will go through that same process for however many classrooms you need. So let's say I have a second period, Knust, and let's say this one is Knust regular 2, and create. And you can see it's going to have an abbreviation. This one, it was all students, so it's AS. This one was second period, so it's 2P, and so forth. And so that's kind of how it organizes these in your classrooms. When you have your classrooms created, you can go ahead and start looking at resources, and you can go ahead and add students. When you're ready to add students, then you can go to your classroom and click on that. And there's 2 different ways you can add students. You can click here to add students, or you can click on this edit pencil up in the top right-hand right-hand corner rather. So you'll click add students, and you can individually add students. I actually prefer to use this pencil, and especially with the upper grade level students. If you have lower level students, you might want to add the students individually yourself, but with the upper grade level students, I'll show you that again. If you click on the pencil, right here is a student code. If the students log in, they can use this student code to join your classroom, and then you don't have to enter each student individually. So especially if you have a lot of students, like at the junior high school level, then that's going to be a much better way to add those students to your classroom. They can join the classroom on their own. If you're going to add students, then you have to go in with their username and number, or ID number, sorry, their computer username, which would be their first and last initial and 7-digit ID. And so it is a little bit of a process if you're going to add them that way. But you can do it either way. Once you have your students in your classroom organized, you have assignments that you can add assignments here, and you can create the assignments just by clicking on the buttons. You can add resources, same way, and announcements and journal. The best way to go about finding some of these is to simply explore. So on this little hamburger button up in the top left, you can come over here to the Explore, and you can start looking for what you have. Now, when you first registered, you chose your grade levels. That will somewhat limit it down to what's going to be best suited for your grade levels. They have it separated by the different curriculum, but you can search. So as an example, right now on our campus, some of our teachers just finished up talking about topographic maps. So if they looked for topographic, there's different materials that come up with topographic maps, how to read one, a video, landforms, a web link, activities, articles. So there's all sorts of different things that are available. There's labs, field assignments, and there's actually there's another one that's actually a game, but it's only because I know it. But it's called Landform Detectives. But that one's actually a little bit more in line with plate tectonics, which is also something that they just finished. So if you're looking for specific resources, games, then you can come up with all sorts of different activities that you are able to assign to students. You can preview them. If you wanted to do this vocabulary challenge, you can launch the games, you can assign it. You can assign it either in JSON or in Google Classroom. So all of those different things are available for you through that Explore just by searching the topic. And that is kind of how that works. And so then you just assign it to them and you are ready to go. So if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to email me, call, ask, whatever you need. I did not think to put this up before, so I will put this up on a really quick Google Doc so that you can see it and pause the video if you need to. But my name, since I did not introduce myself at the beginning, is Brandy Knust. And my email is bknust@pasadenaisd.org. And I am at Beverly Hills Intermediate. So our phone number here is 713-740-0420. My direct extension is 05146. So like I said, please feel free to contact me if you need any extra advice or help with getting your accounts set up. So thank you very much, and I am here to help if you need it. Have a great day.